Can you tell me your name, where you're from, and just a little bit about yourself?
My name is Sharifeh, and I am from Afghanistan. And it's been 10 years that I'm living in Syracuse, New York. I started my life with my siblings in Syracuse, New York. We are 5 siblings who started their life 10 years ago in Syracuse, New York.
So you've been here for 10 years?
Yes.
Okay. Where did you, when you first came here, where were you living?
We resettled through another agency called Catholic Charity. We were living in around South Solon.
What's Syracuse been like for you?
At first, it looks beautiful and scary because we started in January. When we came, there was so much snow. We didn't have too much snow back in where we were living, but the snow was kind of, I can say, beautiful. On the side, it's scary because we didn't have any vehicle or transportation. So we loved the snow so much. But when you want to do work, shopping, or anything, it was hard. So you have to walk on the snow. You have to go around the snow. You have to clean all your yard. So that part was kind of hard and scary, but the beauty when you were seeing like this much snow, the weather were looked like a bright to me, white. So that part was the beauty of the snow at first.
Can you tell me, what has Syracuse been like for you and your family in general?
Syracuse been very good, and we had a very I can say very successful life in Syracuse. We started with very low opportunity in the life, but right now I think we achieved what we have to achieve in 10 years. As I myself, I'm working in Interfaith Works as a resettlement coordinator, and my sister she's in a PA field, my older sister, and my older brother, he's a truck driver. He has his own car and his own company, and my younger brother, he has a pizza shop, JD at Danzer. He owned that place, and my younger sister, she wants to go in a medical field too. She just started college.
So does your brother who runs the pizza shop, is he great with giving you guys free pizza, or do you guys not get that pizza very much?
We love his pizza so much. So anytime we are working or we are busy, so we call him, can we have a pizza tonight? So he's saying, sure. What time you guys need, I will bring it to you. Or you can come to the store, sit and eat. Most of our fun times at his stores, or when we want to have some gathering, party, or anything, we would like to do that at his stores because people love his pizza. He's doing everything by himself. Everything is homemade. So when we want to do he has a big place for party and all the event. So we are doing our event there too. So it's a big opportunity and big place for us.
Where is it located?
It's on Brighton, near the Brighton Tower.
Okay, and
it's Ainsley Drive, JD at Danzer,
okay.
Pizza Pop.
All right, I will stop by there.
Sure, it was German food. Right now he mixed German food with pizza, American style pizza.
So that was Danzer's?
Yes.
Oh, the old Danzer's. Okay, everybody in Syracuse knows the old Danzer's. So that's who took it over. Okay,
yes,
very cool.
He took over the Danzer.
That's very cool. What does he have a specific pizza that's the best one, or?
For me, maybe it's a different desire, but for me, I love his Syracuse favorite pizza. And last night when I was talking to him, I said, I missed your Syracuse favorite pizza. I will stop by one day and to have this pizza.
What makes it that version of it?
It's like most of it is like vegetables, and it has cheeses on it that I love the most.
What are the times? I just selfishly, when is it open? Like, what are the times and days?
So he's open every day from 10 to 10 p.m. But for Saturday and for only Sunday, he's opening late, like 12 o'clock.
What's business been like for him?
It's challenging sometimes, but I think he's doing a good job.
What you guys all get along? Are you all pretty close as siblings?
Yes, we are still kind of living together. Just my older brother who moved out to Texas last year, but the other four of us, even we are, like me and my sister are married. We have our own life, but we're still living together in the same house.
So you guys have to get along.
Yes.
Okay. So forgive this question. Is pizza like a cuisine that's eaten in Afghanistan, or did your brother decide, I'm going to learn to do this here and learn it here?
No, he was just a student back in the country. When he came, the first job he got was a pizza shop. So he started to learn pizza here. And then after like 2 years, he started his own business.
Nice. Does he himself love pizza or no?
Yes, he does.
Okay. So he eats all of the own. Okay. Yeah, that's nice. So do you, I think I've asked you this, but do you know Officer Omari by any chance? I know he's from Afghanistan. He came here.
I heard his name, and I think he was in our agency once talking to our client, but really I didn't have this chance to talk to him closely.
Okay. He has an incredible story. I know that he's trying to get some of his family members over here still, but we did an interview with him, but I would love to have him on a podcast at some point. Very, very, very good man. Tell me a little bit about Afghanistan. What's it like?
Afghanistan is never the same. You can never say it's gonna stay the same. Yeah. Every day has new challenges, new hard life in Afghanistan is happening, especially for women, for girls. It's happened 20 to 25 years ago, before when we flew the country. When the first time Taliban took over the country, as like this time they closed all the schools, and they were saying no girls allowed to go to school, or they are not allowed to go outside to leave the house without a man. But so that time my father decided to leave the country, so because of his daughter, so they can have the freedom of the education, they can be the person who can have effect in the society, who can study, who can live their life. And same story repeated again almost 3 years ago, and it still continued. When Taliban took over the country, they shut down all the schools for the girls, and they are not allowed to go outside without a man. The man should be like their closest family member, like brother, father, or husband. It means that you don't have even like your freedom to walk on the street, or sometimes you just want to walk out of your house. You are not allowed, or you want to go to school. This is like basic needs for every human being that is taken out of hands for Afghanistan women. And this is make me so sad, because I see how our women was studying, they were very hard working. So many doctors, teacher, engineering, they were working on the field. But right now, all of them have to stay at home.
I feel like that's unimaginable in the true sense of the word. So was it overnight that they went from working to essentially being forced to stay at home?
Yes, it's just happened like a blank of eyes. Like you wake up in the morning and see everything has changed. Like yesterday you were at work, you were at school, and today not. You have to stay home, you shouldn't go to school, you shouldn't go to work, even you shouldn't walk on the street. That's not like if it happens to other countries or to other places, I think it takes process or time. But for Afghanistan, it happens like suddenly in one night, everything changed.
What do you have family and friends in Afghanistan still?
Yes, I have so much friends and relatives back in Afghanistan. So after what happened to Afghanistan, we were talking to them. All we heard was crying, especially for our cousins who were in schools. Like they were saying, how we can stay home right now. All of our life was spending to go to school, to dream about the future, to become a doctor, become an engineer, teacher, to be successful for the society. But right now, it's just staying home, doing nothing. Like you have you're not useful for this society, or you're not even useful for your own self. So it's make their confidence very low. So it's broke their confidence.
I had read an article somewhere, and I don't know the legitimacy of it, but it was saying that there's like an underground railroad in a sense of like women who are starting to come together in secret to try to change some of this or work together. Is that anything that you've heard about?
I heard a lot about these types of stuff, but I think it's very hard. They can't, or even if they can, it's not going to be very wide. Because of women of Afghanistan, they didn't expect this to happen. So they're trying so many ways to pass this challenge. So of course, there's going to be many like gathering, all of those stuff, but in the dark.
I have so many questions, but what does it mean to be an Afghan woman to you?
For me, I think power, because of what is happening, but still we are hoping one day we will change this. We are still trying. We are still raise our voice for the world, to hear our voice. Even the world like shut all their doors to us, but still our women are trying. So that means we have this power, we have this voice to be heard.
I think from more of or exactly an American perspective, there are things I want to ask you that I think are either misinformation or not understood, or there's no information to take in. So I'm going to ask you some questions, and if you don't like any of them, just feel free to say pass. Help me understand, what is the Taliban? Why do they have? Where does their ideals come from to do things like this? And can you explain to me, even in a faith-based sense, how, if what they're doing is taking the Quran out of context, or religious faith out of context, or how does this work to make this happen?
As you don't understand them, because even they're relying on the Quran, relying on the religions, but none of this that they're doing is in the Quran. or indigenous religions. In the Quran, our Quran started with like, read. The first things in the Quran says is read. To our prophet says start reading. So that means that our religious advise you to go, to explore the world, to explore the education, but they banned the school for the women. In the Quran, they give so many chances and rights to the women, but they banned all the rights and chances to women. This is all like, they're making it. They want to use the religions or the Quran as excuse, as like a way for them, but it's not true. It's not like something that it says in that Quran, or they can find it. If they can bring one verse from Quran or one verse from the religious book that says this, they cannot. Even if you ask them to read one page, they cannot.
Are there people there that will argue with them and say, this is, haram what you're doing, or is it just silence out of danger?
It's silence out of the danger, because they don't know what's going to happen to them if they start arguing with them.
Do you have hope, or what do you see for the future of Afghanistan?
It is so hard to talk about the future of Afghanistan, because you don't know what's going to happen in Afghanistan. As I said, Taliban took over the country just in one night. So right now, all the power's in their hand. But I wish, and I'm hoping for a bright future for Afghanistan.
Can you tell me, and I want to talk about this because I think that there's this large perception in America and in the Western world that all of the Muslim worlds as a whole are like this, and that Islam is like this. So I feel like that's what you see on TV, that's what you see on the news, that's what you hear on the radio. In all forms of any visual mediums or audio, you're seeing Islam and Muslims portrayed in a very specific way, especially when it comes to women and oppression. Can you speak a little bit about that?
Can you go a little bit more in details? Like,
what do you think the greatest misconceptions about, just even for yourself being a hijabi woman, what are the greatest misconceptions you run into in Syracuse even, or that you've experienced that are just wildly untrue or misunderstood?
So the misunderstanding is because of the media, what introduced you. But in reality, so it says freedom, right? You have your freedom. When you have your freedom, that means that you can have the choice to put this on, and you have the choice to take it off. When someone's have the choice to take it off, so they will take it off. But when someone's put them on, they think it's been forced. It's been forced. No, there is no force. When you have the right to choose to put them on, take it off. So you have the choice to put them on too. And the hijab is something is like introduce you as a Muslim woman. This is my belief. I cannot go in really, really general ideas, but this is my belief that as a hijabi, I introduce myself as a Muslim woman, as my right to choose. This was my right to choose, so I choose it. And I have it, even in these countries, even in other countries. For me, the country doesn't change anything, but my right to cover my body as I like, as I am happy with it, so I choose to have the hijab. But for those but people have the idea of the forced all the time, because this is in media, in news, all the time they're saying like, women are forced to have the hijab, women are forced to have the to stay home. But I want to say that this is not forced. How we can say that when you take it off, it's not forced. When you want to put it on, it's forced. It's both the same. So if that one is not forced, so this one is not forced too.
Can you explain? I think I lost you a little bit in that last statement. So you're saying that it's neither forced to put it on or to take it off? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
So neither of them are forced. So my choice is to put them on. Other person's choice to take it off. But in general, in religious, yes, it says that a woman should have the hijab.
Can you tell me what does the hijab mean to you on a personal level?
For me, on a personal level, I think I've said for me to introduce myself as a Muslim woman, I like to have the hijab. And I feel more comfortable, and more confidence with my hijab.
Can you tell me what are you most passionate about in life?
My lifestyle.
Can you tell me what you mean by that?
My lifestyle is a mix of American culture and my own culture and my religious. So I think I have all of them. In the American culture, I studied, I'm working, and we are living in the U.S. And in religious, I do my prayers, I do my hijab and all this stuff that in my religious says. And in culture, I respect the Afghan culture, like the dresses, the food, and everything. I have it in my life. It's a mixture of everything. Religious, culture, and the new country or new life.
What is your favorite Afghan food, and what is that? And what is your favorite American food, and what is that?
My favorite Afghan food is qabli palau. It's made of raisin, carrots, lamb, and rice. My favorite American food is pizza.
Fair. Have you eaten at I think it's the Kabul restaurant over by the university? But yeah.
Yes, so many times.
So good. It's so good. Yes. I remember when I went there for the first time. It's the lamb and the chicken. I just keep getting them because they're so like juicy. It's very weird. Like, they're not dry. Like a lot of times, chicken will be dry. It's amazing. So yes.
When you mix it with qabli, like the lamb in the qabli, so it tastes so good.
Yes. And is that like the rice has a little orange bits?
Yes.
I think he gives that with the meals. Yeah, That's great. Yeah, and pizza. Okay. Tell me a little bit about interfaith and a little bit about the work you do there.
Interfaith is like a new journey for me. I started 3 years ago with Interfaith Works when Taliban took over the country. My journey started at Interfaith too. I had a friend, we were in same college. He called me and said, I know you are like to be in the community, you're doing social work, but I have a good place for you to start. I said, okay. Then he sent me the Interfaith, and I applied. When they interviewed me, they said you can start immediately. I started with, the fun part is I started with airport pickup.
With what?
Airport pickup.
What? Oh, airport pickup. Okay, yeah.
Airport pickup, yeah. When they called me, my director said, are you ready? It was like shock, like, what does she mean by are you ready? Because I just did one interview with them. Usually when they hire someone, it takes so many steps to hire them. But for me, it was only one interview. And when director called me, are you ready? I was shocked on the phone. I said, what do you mean? She said, I mean, start the work. I was quiet for a while and I said, yes. Then she told me we have an airport pickup for a single lady who's coming from Afghanistan, and she had like very hard process of coming here. We want she meet you at the first because we want her to feel comfortable. I said, okay. So my journey started with interfaith work, with this job, with this work with the airport pickup. And then they hired me as a case aide. I was helping other caseworker to, when they receive a refugee or they receive someone, I was helping them with the paperwork or with the airport pickup. And like I'd like to have my own cases. I wanted to have my own cases to work on it so I can help them, I can have them. But for me as a case aide, I should shadow another caseworker. After a while, they said, you're ready to start be a caseworker. I was so happy. It was like too much joy on me that I can have my own cases. I can go to the airport by myself, and I can do all the jobs all by myself. This is like they're giving you wings to fly. I started. I started this to go to the airport. Most memories that I have is from the airport. When they pair the caseworker the same language or the same culture. When we meet the people at the airport, when someone is coming new, all the things they have thinking on the way that how we can communicate, how we can talk, how we can like say something that is we need, how we can like talk about our needs, our basic needs. But when they meet the caseworker, speak their own language, they become so happy. They're saying, oh, I heard like this so many times right now. We feel calm. We feel like we can talk. We can like explore the new journey better because you're speaking the same language as us.
So the comfort level of having somebody who understands the culture, understand your language when you're coming to a country that you've never been to, that's all the difference in the world, you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes absolute sense. What does that feel like to be on the other side of that, to be able to be that person for someone?
You feel so proud of yourself. And you feel like, wow, this is like, who puts you in this level? The agency or the people who are working there. You feel like they know how these people feels. They know their feelings. They know their journeys. So that's why they put you in this level. You can feel proud of yourself, and the people who are coming feel comfort, feel more welcome. That's the best describe I can have about this job, that same culture, same language, same caseworker.
Tell me, can you give me kind of a broad array of where the countries people are coming from that you guys see?
We are seeing from so many different countries. We cannot like say specifically like one country or two countries, but we have so many people from Afghanistan, from African countries, from Arabic countries. So I think all around the world.
What do you think people wouldn't know about your job or the work that you do, since they're not in your your line of work? What are things that you would want to tell people, you'd want them to know?
People usually they're not more familiar with the refugees at first. They think like the refugees are the one who is not like really too much useful for their countries or like anything like that. But the refugee, I myself was a refugee, so I want to tell them that first of all, we are all human. We are coming from the same background. But nobody likes to leave their family, their loved ones behind and leave their countries. When something like force coming, you have to. Because you have to leave your loved one, like your sister, your brother, your parents, or your kids. Leave behind and start the new journey or new life in the other countries. So we have to know their feelings or their journeys that they're coming here to start a new life. Starting a new life is not easy. I think if you have the opportunity to stay and continue your life where you are, you prefer to stay, not to leave the country. But when you are forced to leave the country, to leave your house, to leave your loved one, so you have to.
What are some of these circumstances that people are under that force them to leave their countries and their families?
Mostly danger. Their life or their family lives are in danger because for example, I want to talk about the Afghan people because U.S. Army was back in Afghanistan, so most of the people were working for them. When Taliban took over the country, they were looking for these people. They were looking to find those people, jail them, kill them, anything might happen to them. So they were looking house by house. They're like for these types of people. Sometimes different religions, different cultures make their life in that country in danger. So that's why they have to leave the country.
I feel like people hear these stories, and many Americans don't have, we don't have that. I should speak for myself. As an American, I don't have that experience. So you can say, somebody's in danger or the possibility of them losing their life, and that's why they flee. Is there another way to explain it where if you haven't experienced that, how you'd want people to understand it?
Can you a little bit more?
Sure. I feel like maybe it's just too foreign of a concept. So I'm here in America and I get up in the morning and I have breakfast and I go to work, and then you hear the news, but somebody says, there are new Americans or refugees coming in or immigrants coming into the country and they're seeking asylum because of danger. And somebody says, why can't they stay in their own country? Or why do they have to come over here for any number of reasons? But I feel like if somebody says, they're in danger in their own country, it's like an idea that's so foreign to us over here that there's not a relation where somebody can be like, oh, I know what it's like to be in danger. I know what it's like to have to leave my family. Therefore, I can understand and have empathy towards someone who has to do the same thing. Like you have that experience, so you know what that's like, you know?
Yes, so exactly. So that's like when you don't judge people before you meet them or talk to them. When you see a refugee, I know you lived in a country that never had those type of experience, but you can read the book about them, know more about their countries, know more about their cultures, talk to them, listen to their stories. When you listen to their stories, everybody have their stories. Everybody, when you listen to their stories, you might cry. So be a ear to them, be someone who can hear them. I know it's hard, but when you see someone at your work or at your place that is working at the same job with you, don't just, before you know them, hate them. Be a friend to them, talk to them, listen to them. They have a lot to say. They have a lot to say. They're going to talk to you for an hour, from their past, from their families, from their loved one who left behind. Then you can know more about them. You don't need to only hear they're coming.
So just speaking about essentially humanizing people's experiences in a way that goes beyond just saying, well, they're in danger, when I don't think a lot of people they don't have the personal experiences to understand what that kind of danger is like. So they just become resentful, and they hear a lot of things in the media about immigrants or refugees or new Americans taking their jobs or draining their society, but they don't see a human face or understand there's a human story, or there's a person, or there's a living being behind that.
Yes, so I think you need to ask yourself when you hear those news that they're coming to the country or they're taking over your job. Ask yourself why they are coming. There should be a reason that they are coming. So you have your own family, right? You have your own parents, your kids, your own relatives, your own life. Who wants to live the life you have here? Do you want to leave it behind and go start a new journey or new life in the new country with new language, new culture? No. When there's force coming, you have to leave. You have to leave behind your loved ones, your work, your language, your culture. When you're coming to the new country, you're taking new language, you're taking new culture. You left behind all the loved ones, so you're starting a new life. So you have to talk to these people. You have to hear their stories. You have to listen to their stories. If I want to talk about my story, for example, one of the thousands of the stories that is from the refugees, I want to talk about my own experience, my own stories. I was forced to leave my country when I had no other choices. I was even it wasn't my choice. I was 4 or 5 years old when my father decided to leave the country because he was against the Taliban. When Taliban took over the country, they said they're going to shut down all the schools and they will kill all the peoples who were against them. Especially in Afghanistan, we have many different ethnicities. We are all Muslim, but there's two groups, like Shia or Sunni, and ethnicities like Hazara, Uzbek, Pashtun, Tajik. So mostly in danger are Hazaras, my people, because they look different. Because of their looks, Taliban are saying, you don't belong to these countries. Any place, they will bomb them. 3 or 4 years ago, they bombed so many schools. Why? Because they wanted to become educated. They wanted to go to college. They wanted to study. They bombed our schools, especially the girls, the women. So when my father left the country, he wanted her daughters have the same opportunity as his boys to study, to have the future. We left the country, we flew to Iran. The process of this out-migration, it was so hard. It was so complicated. My father got arrested. We left without my father. We arrived in Iran after 3 to 4 months of the journey, walking around or someone driving us around. I just haven't an idea about this because I just was a kid. And then when we arrived to Iran, we started a new life. My mother, as a single mom, she worked so hard to get us a document so we can go to school. After many years passed, my father was able to come back. But we never heard from him what did happen. He never wanted to talk. He was a different person. He could escape, but he wasn't mentally or physically okay. He wasn't. He wasn't the same person as he was. But he was happy when he was seeing us. We are going to school. We are successful. But in Iran, they have something like says, Afghan or any refugee who wants to go to college, they have to go back to their countries, get a passport, and come back, continue their college. My father didn't want to send us back to Afghanistan. Not my father nor my mother. They said, we will go back. My father said, me and your mom only. We'll go check to find a safe place. If we could find a safe place, we would take you back to continue your education back there. Because the government was changed, the US was on the country, the girl was allowed to go to school, everything was different. It looks so good from outside. They decided to go back, to see by themselves, to find a safe place for us to go back and study. But unfortunately, they never come back. We never heard anything back from them. We just heard that they got an accident. They both got killed. But it wasn't just an accident. Who can believe that was just an accident? No one can believe that. So we just, after that, in a foreign country, we left with only 5 siblings. The oldest one was 20. We were looking for we were not allowed to go to college because we didn't have the Afghan passport. We should get the Afghan passport. So we were looking for another place, for another opportunity to continue our education, to continue our study. We find the UN office in Iran and we registered. We passed through so many processes. They did a background check and everything. When we are coming to US or new country, we are passing so many different checking, different background check. We go through so many processes until we came here. So this was just only my story. There are so many other stories in this journey of refugees. I want people listen to them, hear their voices.
You so you're expecting now, correct?
Yes.
What do you want for your children in their life?
I want them never forget where they come from, how their parents sacrificed themselves, how their grandmas or grandparents sacrificed their lives to find a better place, to find a better opportunity for them.
What if you could have anything in this world, what would you want? Or if you could say anything to this world, what would you want to say to this world?
Please try to bring a peace. Every place is not in one country, not in two countries, all over. Put the politics on the side. We as a people, as a human, let's try to have the peace.
What would you want your parents to know about you today?
I want them to be proud of me. That what my parents wanted, I could get it right now. I am, as my father always wanted, he was saying, if you study, you can be useful for your society and other people's. You can hold a hand for others. He never was telling us about like being rich, money. He was saying, hold another people's hand who needs it. Right now, with my job at Interfaith Work, I think I am on that path that I'm holding others' hands. I'm helping them. This is the opportunity that I have right now. This was my father's dream. I think his dreams become true.
I think you did great.
Thank you.
I think you did great. Yeah, that's I think that's more than I could have ever imagined or hoped for this interview. So thank you.